up, everybody? Welcome back to the Reporter Show, where we talk all things Wayland sports and give you guys a weekly wrap-up of everything going on. As always, it's your host, Justin Porter, and as always, I got my co-host with me, Devin Acosta and Josh Tucker. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to do another take, so we're going to love that one right there. But this week, man, we had no L's all the way across the board. I think every team got a dub on the week. I consider golf, even though it's a team sport, I consider it still individually. So I ain't gonna say that their placement is an L. So I'm gonna say everybody got a dub this week. You know what I'm saying? So that's big ups to Wayland Athletics. I'm happy to see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off. I'm gonna let Josh take it away with men's basketball.
Yeah, man. So last Thursday we hosted the first round of the SAC tournament. Win or go home at this point, and we played a team that we had previously beat twice this season. We swept them, but obviously, as you guys know, it's hard to beat any good team 3 times. Yep. So this is a game that, you know, we heard the talk around the country was that if we win, we're in the national tournament, but if we lose, that's when we might be in some trouble. Yeah. And they obviously, since we swept them, they had to win to have a shot at the national tournament. So I guess we'll find that news out next week. But anyways, we came out hot, man. First half, got up by 15 at one point, and then their best player just he got it going. I ain't gonna lie. There's nothing else we can say. He started getting it going, but we were still up by 6, 44-38 at the half. Second half, man, it's like we were scoring, but we were getting 2s and they were getting 3s, and so that's a bad combo when you let the team hang around with you, especially when they got everything to play for. Mm-hmm. So we ended up, man, we were just throwing haymakers back and forth that last 3 minutes. Yeah. And we ended up 3 with about 5-6 seconds left. Mm-hmm. They throw it in, and that dude shot it from he shot it from Hale Center. He shot it from Hale Center and cashed it, man, with about a second and a half to go. So that sent it to overtime. And then we ended up still finishing out 109-108 in OT, but man, their best player, Reggie Quezada, man, 14 of their 17 points in overtime. So he was obviously on fire, but glad we got to pull the win out, especially in front of a good home crowd. D-Mike finished with 22 and 10, of course. Q, thank God for Q, carried us in that last second half in the OT. He had 28 points. Yeah. Brett had 19, and Kel had 15. So it was a big time win, man. I wish it wouldn't have been that close, especially knowing we were up 15 at one point. But you know, you'll take the wins and you can get them.
Yeah, I think it was scary at first because the way I was watching it, you know, I'm not gonna say I wasn't paying attention to the game, but when I'm directing it, I don't really see the score all the time. And so the whole time I'm thinking to myself, we good, we winning. You know, I'm over there directing, and next thing you know, one of my camera guys was like, dang, we let him come back. I was like, what you mean let him come back? I look at the score, and we up by 1. I said, ain't no way we up by 1 right now, bro.
And it's like you saw them slowly claw their way back into it. Which, I mean, props to them, like they played good.
They're a well-coached team, man.
For sure.
Quezada, I ain't gonna lie, he just willed him right back into that game. So thank God we finished though, because he had us down maybe 1 or 2 with like 30 seconds left. Yeah. So and I think it's down 2, and Q hit a 3. So I mean, he had us against the ropes at our own gym, but it was just a good ball game.
At that point, this is the only question I got for that game. When you see somebody on fire, right? Why we not doubling, buddy? Make them give it to somebody else, or did they have too many weapons?
I mean, I'm not gonna say they had too many weapons. They got, I say, three solid shooters in their starting lineup, or the ones that played the most. Funny thing is, I don't know if y'all remember Lil, the number 15 that got off last time we played him at home, that got at 27. He didn't even play a whole lot. So, which I was shocked. But the thing is, the scouting report, a couple of their players, we fine with them shooting. Well, the ones that we was fine with shooting hit a couple threes, so it was kind of like, you know, if the dudes that aren't supposed to be shooting are shooting and hitting, then we don't need to double nobody. We need to just play the chances. Okay. So I guess that was what was kind of behind it. We didn't want, because they had already been hitting, we didn't want to give anybody open shot.
That makes sense. I just realized at one point, Buddy was literally just coming down and just
throwing
it up. Yeah, and I was like, hold on now, we're going to have to.
Man,
take over. Orange juice, something like that, bro. He was on. Man, he was on, man.
It was like a heavyweight boxing match, bro. They would just, he'll come hit a 3, Q come hit a 3, he'll come float it, Q come hit a midi. So it was fun to be a part of. I'm not gonna lie.
It was fun to watch. They were really I don't want to say they was the only two, but in OT it seemed like they was the only two that was scoring at that point.
It did seem like it.
And like you said, though, we came out on top, 109 to 108, which sent us into the next round of conference tournament, which we'll cover that next week. I don't want to get you guys confused. I know it just happened, but we will cover that next week. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the next subject, man. We're gonna go to Devin for women's basketball.
And women's basketball at home with the first round of the tournament as well. They played Sagu in that little rematch.
Yeah,
I mean,
the 20-piece.
Yeah, like last time,
Yeah.
lost by 20, and like we said, was demoralizing to them. You know what I mean? Had to damage their confidence for sure. This time they get back with a 20-point dub.
They did.
Dub for themselves. I mean, first quarter, I mean, we was down 18 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like especially coming off of last game into that, confidence got to be shot. But I mean, they bounced right back.
Yeah.
We took control second quarter. I think Sagu only scored about 5.
Yeah.
About 5 points. And we kept the ball rolling from there.
Mm-hmm. It was really a game where I remember talking to Coach Cooper last week, that interview that we watched, and he said to himself, I asked him, I said, would you rather them forget about that game, knowing that they're going into this next matchup, or would you rather them have that in the back of their mind to give them a little edge? And he said, you know what, honestly, as an athlete, you probably want to hold on to that for a little edge. You know, when you go into the game, you thinking about, okay, they did this to us last game. All right, we finna show y'all what we can do too. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that they definitely had that in the back of their mind, because when they came out in that second quarter, it was just like they said, all right, we're gonna take this one from here. All right, and they ended up winning, like he said, by 20 points.
I mean, and it was all around. I mean, Megan, she did her thing again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? 28 and 12, and Bobby having 19, Taylor with 12, and then Emily didn't score as much, but with 11 assists.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
you can't ask for much
what
more.
you ask her to do.
Exactly.
She was facilitating.
Exactly, did her job.
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say I was worried for the girls because I got the confidence in them, but man, I was just thinking if I was in that situation they was in, you just got beat by 20, got to play them again, man. It's hard to come out there and win, but especially win the way that they did. So I'll give them their props for sure. Yeah.
And so they also ended up heading to the next round of the conference tournament. Like I said about men's basketball, we will cover that next week. Both of them were facing off against Langston just yesterday. So we'll get into that next week, though. We're going to go ahead and jump into the next subject, man. We got baseball against Central Christian. Now, I said last week, if we lose a game, don't go to no more games. Well, I guess they heard, you know what I'm saying, and they went out there and did exceedingly well. Now, when they went into this weekend, that first game was a little shaky for me, I ain't gonna lie. We were tied at 5-5 or 2. It was something. What was it? 2-2. I don't know. Maybe it was 2-2. Yeah, it was 2-2 until the 5th inning. So I'm looking around like, I know y'all not finna lose to these boys. And they put up 3 in the 5th to go up 5-2 after we had 2 errors and they had a couple of hits. And so I was thinking to myself, hey, man, down 5-2 to Central Christian. This ain't looking good. But we came back in the bottom of the 5th and we answered by putting up a 9 spot. That all started off with an error by their center fielder, and we really just took it over from there. We ended up winning that game 12-5. JJ was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Memo was 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 home runs. Big shout out to you, big dog. Hato was 2 for 2 with an RBI, and Coop was 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. And so after game 1, I think after that little warm-up, winning 12-5, they said, all right, let's just stop playing and go ahead and shut it down. Because the next game, we won that game 20-6. We started Vargas in that game. He had some early struggles again. I know it's another situation where it's just like, I don't know if you really want to start a game off like that, but hey, we put him out there, and it got down to that 3rd inning. I feel like that 3rd inning is like his bookmark sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a mind block. When he gets to 3rd inning, everything just seemed to fall apart. They ended up putting up some runs. They went up 3-0. But the bottom of the 3rd, Hato had a single, Van had an RBI triple, Felix had an RBI single, and then Delvis had a 2 RBI home run that tied the game back up. And like I said, from there, we took it over. Bottom 5 again, we got it done with another 10 spot, and then we ran away with it from there, winning that game 20-6. Some notable players, Van. I'm not going to spend too much time on you, my boy, but I got to say it. I don't want to see nobody else at center field. All right? Because when he came in, when he got his call, first of all, any other time he got his call, he do his thing. But this time, he got his call and he went 4 for 4. You know what I'm saying? 4 for 4 with an RBI, and he had some amazing plays in the outfield.
Ooh, I saw one.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
he was playing.
No disrespect to nobody else. I know y'all can all play the game. But from my viewpoint, I done played with the man for some years. I know what he can do. And from what I've seen him doing this year, shouldn't nobody else be playing center field. All right? So let's leave him at center field.
I'm gonna get that one to you because you have been saying before the season. You've been saying like, yo, they gotta let Van rock out, and then every time he played, he been shining. So I'm gonna give you credit for seeing that before it happened.
I think a lot of times a lot of people don't understand the behind the scenes of everything, and sometimes it's not always the coach. Sometimes everybody just don't see everything the same. But I feel like he was overlooked in some scenarios, especially at the beginning of the season. And so I'm just glad to see that when he does get his call, he makes it work. And on top of that, even when he does make it work and he still get back on the bench, when he does get back in, he's still on the same page. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to you, big dog, going 4 for 4 and a couple of nice plays in the outfield. Davis was 2 for 3 with 6 RBIs and 2 home runs. Sunwell was 3 for 4 with an RBI. Memo was 2 for 4, and Hato was 3 for 3. Hato coming off an injury, already batting 500. He going crazy right now.
I was about to say, I thought he was.
Yeah, he came off an injury and he was ready to go. So Buddy's batting 500 right now through the past 2 weekends. So big shout out to you as well, Hato. Game 3, I'm not even gonna get into that one that much. 26-5, ridiculous. We had 9 home runs, which is now the new school record for the single game home runs in a game. It was 8, we hit 9. So boom. Yeah.
You wanna know the crazy thing about that though? Crazy. Like, I kid you not, we had what time was practice? Like, was it that game 3 was on Saturday, right?
Yes, I'm at 12.
Okay, yeah. All right, so we had 11:30 practice. Okay. So we just doing ball handling, bruh. I kid you not, we heard at least 4 balls hit the hut. I swear, bro. We had no music. I'm like, bro, what is that noise they're talking about? They hitting bombs over there. So I was like, all right, man. Somebody doing good. I hope it's us. I was hoping it was us.
It was.
I checked Instagram after. I was like, God, 26-5. It must have been us hitting all them home runs.
Yeah, man, they went crazy. And also they tied the single game RBI record with 25 RBIs. And Brandon, through 6 innings, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 walk, and 7 Ks. So you already know how we did. We locked it down defensively, and we showed out offensively. Notable players, everybody on the team. You know what I'm saying? If you got that many hhits, we was putting pitchers in.
You breaking records and stuff too, I mean.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the whole squad, that's how you start off the conference, 3-0 on a big showing. Now, what I will say is, don't take that and think it's gonna be like that all the way through, because y'all got some top dogs y'all got to play. So I hope that y'all can keep that going into next week. I know y'all got OPSU this weekend, which y'all should honestly do the same thing to them. But after that, it's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? So
a little warm up confidence game.
Exactly, man. And so props to y'all for going 3-0 on the weekend once again. Let's go ahead and take the next one into softball. Softball had a midweek matchup. I don't think they had anything over the weekend. They had a midweek against Dallas Christian. I think that's a JUCO, if I'm not mistaken.
It's either JUCO or straight NCCAA. It's one of those type schools for sure.
I got you. Well, we came out and we hit very well and we pitched pretty good. And when you hit good and you pitch good, you're going to win some games. And so they went out and they got the sweep, the midweek sweep. They won the first one 9-1. Addy threw 6 innings, gave up 1 run on 5 hits, no walks, and 2 Ks. That's all you need from a pitcher to win a game. And so we came up and we was hitting. We had 2 really big innings where it seemed like they couldn't put a stop to us. We ended up winning that one 9-1. Reagan was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Berkeley was 3 for 4 with an RBI. Jaden 2 for 3 with an RBI, and Addy was 2 for 2 with 5 RBIs. So Addy was doing it on the mound and at the plate. You know what I'm saying? So that's really cool right there. I liking what I see from that midweek matchup, especially coming off of the rough one. Well, that previous weekend against USAO, to come back and still, come out there and compete. I know sometimes some people, I don't want to say everybody lay down, but a lot of people do lay down when they get to that point in the season where they don't see improvement, you know what I'm saying, and they lay down, and then they start losing games that they shouldn't lose, you know what I'm saying. But we came out here and we handled our business, and we got that win 9-1. The second game right after that, we did the same thing. There was only 1 inning where we didn't score. I think that was like the 5th inning or maybe the 4th inning. I don't know what it was, but we ended up winning that with 10-4. And notable players, just like I said for baseball, it was everybody. I think, you know, I can't pinpoint a player. Everybody stepped up to the plate. Everybody was hitting. If I can remember, I think everybody in the lineup got a hit except for maybe 1 or 2, but everybody was hitting. The only thing I got to say is you just got to clean it up a little bit defensively. I think when we're playing better teams, the only thing that we struggle with is not making errors. And when we're playing a bad team, we can cover it up because we're hitting the ball well and we're pitching really good, so it don't really have an effect on us. But when we're playing a really good team, you can't have errors. And we escaped with it this week because it didn't really matter. We was doing our thing. But going into the next weekend, going into more conference games, we got to lock it down defensively.
True.
Got to have it. You know what I'm saying? And so I believe this weekend, I think we face off against Texas Wesleyan. I don't know where they are softball-wise. I don't know how they stack up. I know their baseball team is solid. I had no doubt their softball team probably got a little something going on. So we'll see what happens this weekend, man. Let me go ahead and take it on to the next subject. We got men's wrestling. They headed to the NAIA National Championship. There was 3 of them, Gabe Gray at 125, Alex Pena at 133, and I believe it was Hunter McCarty at 185. If I got that right with no notes, I got to pat myself on the shoulder because normally I got to see my notes to remember stuff like that. So, hey, big props to JP for remembering all 3 of them names and the weight classes. And the weight class. Come on, man, that's hard, man. Without seeing the notes. Come on, man. But I'm upset with NAIA because y'all got to make that more accessible to the people that just want to keep up with their athletes. I shouldn't have to pay to see a bracket. I wasn't even trying to watch it. I was just trying to see a bracket to see who won and who lost. And y'all want to send me to Flow Wrestling, and they tell me something, sign up for a membership, and you can see the bracket. I'm like, no, I'm not going to pay no money to see a bracket, a piece of paper that y'all could have wrote down. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me.
Somebody just need a screenshot to put on Instagram.
I mean, for real, bro.
Like that, man.
But I reached out to the coach, so maybe he'll get some information to me sooner or later. But the only bracket that they had on the NAIA page was the 125 bracket. And at the 125 bracket, I think we had Gabe Gray. I hope I didn't get that wrong. I'm going to check it real quick. I know we had wrestling. Oh, that's women's. Let's go. Oh, goodness. No internet. That's ridiculous.
You slack it.
It's all right. That's on me. It's going to come out right here. But anywho, I believe it was Gabe Gray at 125, and I think that he lost his first matchup, which put him in the they don't call it the losers bracket, but what they call that bracket.
Consolation.
Yeah, the consolation bracket. That put him in that bracket, and here it is right here. Yeah, it's Gabe Gray. I had it right, so I wasn't wrong. But anywho, he was the 125, and I believe that, like I said, he lost that first matchup, and that was it from there for competing for, I believe, first, second, and third.
Oh, yeah.
The other brackets, like I said, 133, didn't see it. 185, didn't see it. When I tried to look for it, they was telling me I had to pay for it. So I'm sorry that I don't have that information on you guys, but I'll try to cover that next week, and maybe I can give you guys a shout out if you guys did come out on top of a couple of matchups. Let me go ahead and jump into women's golf. They headed to Houston, Victoria for the Claude Jacobs Invitational. And after 2 rounds of play, we had 1 member in the top 15, and that was Mason Garrett, who ended up shooting 13 over par. Overall, she was shooting 8 over par after the first round and 5 over par after the second round. And so we ended up placing 5th out of 6 teams. So not necessarily an outstanding showing out about the golf team, but Mason Garrett, you know, good job to you on your part, placing out in the top 15, I think out of 40 or 50, I believe. So that's a solid showing for you.
Shout out Mason.
Yeah.
Shout out Mason, but man, you that count as an L though. We gotta talk about that. I'm not letting him off the hook.
No, okay, listen. I know it's an L. Okay, listen. I know it's an L, but I don't want to say it's not a team sport, but for the team sports, we didn't get no L's.
5 out of 6 is an L.
Okay,
if you know the top half is an L.
I understand what you're saying.
Because like you can win individually in golf. You can't win individually in basketball.
It's like track.
Baseball. Yeah.
You know, like somebody could go out there in a 100-meter dash and blow out everybody. But ain't nobody else on the team, so that don't mean the team get placed.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So we didn't take an L.
You gonna say Mason didn't take an L?
Yeah.
Mason didn't leave with an L.
She didn't.
You know, she's top 15 at 45, so that's tough. But I'm gonna hold the whole team as a whole. I'm gonna hold them to a higher standard, like I do every other team at Wayland. 5 out of 6 ain't cutting it. I ain't gonna lie, it's not. And if somebody says it's not an L, everybody, that's an L. I don't care what JP says. If you placed 5th out of 6, you didn't win.
Okay, no, that's right.
I hate to be the one to
In
say
that
it.
scenario, you are absolutely correct. We did lose. We did take an L. 5th out of 6 is not good. I understand that. Team-wise, though, we got some dubs across the board, so I'm proud of y'all. But for the golf team, the women's golf, I got to see something. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to show out for me so we can talk about y'all other than just one. I'm not going to say that we don't cover the bad stats, but in a way, we don't cover the bad stats. You know what I'm saying? We trying to show out. We trying to talk about the things that went well for us this week. I know if it was like a team, like if a bad team lost or something, then talk about the whole thing. I ain't gonna go into bad teams, but you know what I'm saying. So for this instance, it wasn't the best showing as a whole for the team, but Mason Garrett definitely did finish top 15. So big shout out to you. Good job on that part. Now, top 5 this week, I only had 3 plays. Nobody else sent me nothing in, but I did get a nice little play from Emily. She had a no-look dish on the inside. We're going to show y'all these. I know I'm just talking about it right now, yeah. But we're going to post this on social media so y'all see it as well. Emily had that no-look pass, and Van had 2 diving plays in the outfield. So those are the 3 that I got so far. If y'all want to fill those out by the time I post, send it in, all right? Upcoming games. Like I said just yesterday, both basketball teams, men and women, faced off against Langston in the conference tournament. We'll talk about that next week. Friday, we got softball versus Tex West at 2-4, baseball versus OPSU at 2-5. And on Saturday, softball versus Tex West at 12-2, and baseball versus OPSU at 1 o'clock. So it's just a softball, baseball weekend, and it looks like it's probably going to be that for the rest of the semester. It's that time of the year. Basketball is heading into postseason play, so they won't be here on campus. And all we got left for home games is baseball and softball. So y'all go out there and check it out, man. It's warm. You know, February was warm. I don't know why. I wish they would have did that when I was here, but it's all right. You know, we got 70-degree weather throughout the rest of the week, throughout this weekend, next week, and it's just going to keep getting warmer for there. So y'all might as well go out there and enjoy the temperature while it's good. Because if you're going out there in May, you're going to be catching some hundreds. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people don't like that. So y'all go out there while it's 70 degrees and go check out some games that we got this weekend. Sunday, women's wrestling will be headed to the NAIA tournament. And golf will be kicking off, men's golf will be kicking off the WBU Invitational right here. So if y'all can go out to the golf course, I know y'all go out to the golf course anyway. Y'all be out there shooting. I know he said he be shooting. He don't be shooting good, but he be going out there shooting. You know what I'm saying? So y'all going out there to the tournament, man, and go watch some boys like y'all at the PGA tournament or something. All right?
Get you a nice cold drink from something, man. You go to the country club, have a good time, man. Watch some good golf.
But that's all we got for y'all this week, man. It was pretty quick. Hopefully next week we got some more things from basketball, both men's and women's, for the conference tournament. And hopefully they're both in the NAIA national tournament as well. And hopefully this weekend from baseball and softball we got some more wins. We'll catch you guys same time next week.